So they've been listening. They're going to give us some portal changes, some portal updates for the power progression and things of that nature. So hopefully they give us more than what they released in the tweet. Hopefully it's a little bit more than that, and they keep on going in the correct direction with the TWID. So let's get into it. This week's TWID is going to be 08, which is August 28th, 2025. Before we get started with our weekly round of news in Destiny 2, we'd like to take a moment to touch on feedback and conversation around the portal and its rewards. So we have portal and progression updates. Obviously, with the tweet they sent out, they already said they were going to do the planned reductions in power earned for the given grade and solo ops, and they reverted that. The planned reduction for the Encore and Starcrossed and Whisper Pinnacle missions have been reverted as well, and the plan to change prime engrams to require decryption at the tower has also been reverted. More buffs coming. So not just reverting the other changes, they're actually going to be giving the buffs that everybody's been asking for too. So this is good. Increased match made fire team ops time limits across the board. Expert 25%, master 50%, grandmaster 75%. So these are already live. All right, and with Ash and Iron, they're going to increase the number of drops for Liminality, Inverted Spire, Onslaught, and Widow's Court. They told us that in the previous release. Activity timers have been rebalanced for solo pinnacle and fire teams. This is all that we were told was coming with Ash and Iron. This new with some asterisks. Maybe increase the number of drops for many more activities in fire team ops. That doesn't really say any specifics. I assume that's because they think that they're going to be adding, or we can assume that they're going to be adding more activities with fire team ops, and they don't want to let that out just yet. But this lets us know that they're going to be increasing the drops for fire team ops as well. So that is a good thing. Our team is still working on finalizing which specific activities we can buff up, and we will share more details after we finish validating this change. Huge. More new, removing unpopular mods like Grappler.
Get it out!
We don't want Grappler in there, dude. It messes with our Grenady builds. And Grapple Melee builds for Hunter. From the fire team ops matchmaking pool, though this will be selectable when customizing. So if you want it, you can have it, but I can't think for the life of me anybody that wants that. It messes with your build too much. You don't get to melee at the end of it too. It just takes away so much. More buffs and portal rewards. The following plan changes are focused on increasing rewards or increasing rewards quality. Chance of prime engram drop per completion reward. Activities with more base completion rewards such as Liminality and Inverted Spire will provide more chances for engrams to drop. Well, I mean, duh, because if it's got more potential for drops, then obviously there's more of a potential that those would be prime engrams. New, we are working on creating a more consistent power reward experience for the upper power climb. In Ash and Iron, this will be power 500 to 550. So basically, whenever you get to those last 50 levels, and it's like your old pinnacle cap farm, and it used to be grueling, and now it's even more grueling. They're trying to make that a little bit easier and more consistent of an experience for you guys. Huge. More buffs, even more. Obviously, the Desert Perpetual Raid is coming with some awesome loot and updated loot and chances to get tier 5 loot, and all the loot is everywhere. Loot, all the stuff, okay? Desert Perpetual Raid, weekly challenges added, improved gear tier drops, and gear attunement added. So obviously they already said all this was coming. Portal, the time bonus earned will grant 5% minimum score if you make the timer. Got it. Your account highest power will be used for reward score rather than equipped power. So this is kind of huge. So whatever guardian you're focusing the most, that's going to be your high point that you have to get to. So you basically just focus one, get it all the way up, and then try to match the other ones with the pickups and stuff like that, or focus them evenly. You'll no longer need to wear your highest power level gear while playing in the highest score possible. Oh no, so it's saying that you're going to be adjusted to your power level. Your account highest power will be used for reward score rather than the equipped power. Conquests are now replayable. Obviously that's huge, because if they give us some loot on these as well, whoo, that's going to be fun to farm with the homies, man. Those conquests are huge, and they have a lot of loot. In the long run, we're still going to be cautious about singular ops category, solo ops category, or activity becoming the go-to for power leveling. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. There should not be one thing that we're doing. Give us variety. That's all we've been asking for. That's all I've been asking for personally, is just to give us variety. We don't want to farm the same thing. I obviously don't want to be in solo ops because I love community. I love the great community that we have here. I want to play with all the homies. I would rather there be 6-man fire team activities in abundance and a lot of loot that you can get from those, so we can get a bunch of the homies together and go farm it. So thank you for keeping that in mind, Bungie. And these are W updates. Let's just keep going in the right direction. Heavy metal's coming back in the Crucible. There might or might not be some cool stuff that we are doing with this coming back. Stay tuned for this. This is going to be super fun. Just make sure you're ready for heavy metal to come back. New emblem, same emblem, coming back again. There's going to be Twitch drops throughout the entirety of heavy metal with participating streamers on Twitch for 1 hour between 10 a.m. Pacific time, September 2nd, and then 10 a.m. September 9th as well. You can get this Mad Dog emblem if you did not get it. All right, so this is Class Fantasy and Destiny. Obviously, whenever we play Destiny, we picked our characters whenever we first loaded up. I'm sure this is what this entire paragraph says. We picked our characters based off of what they look like, what they represent. You want to be that sleek, cloak design, cloak and dagger feel. You're going for the hunter. You want to be the stalwart tank. You go for the Titan. If you want to be the universe wielding, player supporting Warlock, you go for that, right? So they're trying to lean more into that fantasy. They said they've been kind of going in that direction for at least a year now, at least a couple of years. They want to push more into the fantasy driven direction. So I like to see some changes coming to focus on that. So for the Warlock, they say that your Warlock traits are battlefield control, arcane abilities, and ally empowerment. Obviously, exactly why you select the Warlock, right? So they're going to be making some changes with Ash and Iron update, and on for that, they're going to be doing some more long-term changes as well. Warlocks are going to get more healing options, passive benefits to match other classes. Cool. General changes that we're going to see coming up. The Warlock turrets will now count as grenade stat and perks. So these are going to count as like grenade kills, then I would assume. So that would be dope if that helps you with like your ashes to assets and things like that, and give you your super back. So hopefully they thought about that as well whenever they're adding this. Your Ionic Sentry, Arc Soul, Hellion, Bleak Watcher, Child of the Gods, pretty much all of your little buddies that you get to throw out, they're going to count for the grenade stat and perks. It says grenade stat and perks, so I assume that means ashes to assets counts for this too. So this is crazy super generation for the Warlock whenever you're leaning into those buddy builds. Empowering Rift class ability will now generate neutral game ability energy over time. All right, so that means it's got its own ability generation just from having it. Kills while standing in the Empowering Rift now generate bonus ammo progress. Is this for just the Warlock, or is this for anybody in the Empowering Rift? That would be my question. I would like to know if this is anybody in the Empowering Rift or just for the Warlock specifically. 15% for special weapons, 10% for heavy weapons. So with the Titans, obviously these are your big, bulky, aggressive assault, damage mitigation, artillery expert, okay? Missiles coming out, hazardous propulsion, putting down a shield, just artillery, just sending it out, right? Not too many updates though. I'm assuming, I mean, obviously Titans are still already kind of like busted, so you don't want to mess with them too much. So how the storm stasis aspect, they're trying to get more aggressive with the melees here, will now grant 2 melee charges, change stasis crystal spawn pattern, and added 4 more crystals, so more walls, pretty much more stalwart. Bastion Void aspect will now have faster cooldown in PvP. So not a lot of love for the Titans here, but suck it up, Titans. Y'all are already busted. Relax, y'all are fine. Holy changes for the Hunter, man. All right, attack precision, obviously sniper shots and precision like golden gun shots, infiltration, sneaky, stealthy, and damage avoidance, you know, invisibility, just getting away from it, you know, just running away, staying away from the combat as much as possible. All right, on your mark solar aspect, so this is going to be more for your precision blows. Stacks on your mark will now give weapon stat instead of increased handling and reload speed. So weapon stat, it says that it will boost 40 weapon stat at 10 stacks. This is huge. This is huge for damage for hunters, because if you're rolling into super and you have a 100 weapon stat with a couple like 220s going up to like a 40 font weapon stat, then you can get your weapon stat up to 180 by just rolling 100, just by using the stacks for on your mark. So this is kind of nutty for a solar Hunter. So more to come on this. I'm sure the builds are going to be crazy with the Celestials or the Foe Tracers or anything like that, as well as using the Solar Hunter. So more to come on that. That looks really awesome. Rescaled stack count to a max of 10 stacks. Obviously, after reading the weapon stat for the 10 stacks here, we knew it was going to 10 stacks. Precision hits now give 1 stack. Precision final blows now give 2 stacks. Final blows at 10 stacks now cure you instead of giving you radiant. It's way too easy to get radiant. I think it's a good change to revert that to cure, or change that over to cure rather than staying radiant, because there's so many ways to get radiant now, it seems like, especially this season. All you gotta do is precision hits with the solar weapon. Golden Gun Deadshot Solar Super now refunds ammo on Golden Gun final blows instead of on ignitions. Now extends super duration on Golden Gun final blows. Duration gain diminishes with final blows, grants less in Crucible. Okay, so they were obviously, because that's the first thing I was thinking, was that this was going to be mayhem in Crucible, because you don't want to see a hunter just constantly getting refunded and just running the map multiple times as people are spawning. Grants less in Crucible. Good. Your timing hopefully won't let you run around the map and just be a loose cannon, pun intended. Marksman dodge class ability. So this is one that reloads. Now it's going to reload all weapons on activation, and it's going to pick up all the nearby ammo bricks on activation. Crazy like buffs for Hunter right here, man. These are really good changes for the Hunter, I think. I can't wait to see how the Solar Hunter plays with the on your mark aspect. And then obviously the Deadshot Solar Super looks fun too. And Marksman dodge is going to be crazy during damage. This is actually pretty cool. I don't know if I would change it, because I want my melee whenever I'm ad clearing. I want the melee refund for the Marksman dodge to change. I don't know if I would change that. Maybe change it during damage, but I mean, if not, swap. If you change an ability and it absolutely wrecks everything, then who would want to do that? But I mean, it's a pretty cool change. Pretty cool change. A lot of positivity in the class specific identity here. So class identity wrap up. I mean, in the future, we're interested in doing more to make the class's identity more distinct. It seems like they're on the right path here already. We don't even have to go into this. I mean, these are all great changes. This is a great direction. From the power progression to the class fantasy changes, or the class identity changes, these are huge. It's a W TWID. After last week, I'm sure anything would have been positive, but even if last week didn't happen, I feel like this would have been received well regardless. So other than that, it's all the donations and different art and different emblems that you can get. So pretty much the big ticket items on this week's TWID are the power progression updates, the reverts from the nerfs, and then into buffs for drop rates and drops in the Fireteam Ops and Pinnacle Ops, as well as the new raid already coming out and giving us more drops, and then identification on the class identities of Destiny, and leaning more into what the class is supposed to look like, as opposed to just making everything balanced, right? That does it for this week's TWID. If you enjoyed the video, found it informative, please make sure you like, comment, share it with a friend, follow and subscribe depending on which platform you're on, and we'll see you in the next one.